Local Outbreak on 100.1 The Planet. Matt from IPMNation.com here at The Planet. With me, as always, is Mr. Tim Martin, recording the interview, making sure everything sounds good. If you need a DJ for your event, definitely check out centralnhevents.com. You can hire Tim to DJ your party, corporate function, wedding, I don't know, pool party. Summer's coming. Whatever you need, centralnhevents.com. And with me this week is Adam Cody from the band Mindset X. How are you, Adam?
Very well. How are you?
Good, good. Welcome. It's good to have you on. And, I'm sure a lot of our listeners are familiar with Mindset X. You guys have been around for a while and definitely hear your name a lot. And you're always very busy playing lots of shows and putting out a lot of music. So
yeah, we never really stop. You know, we play shows as often as possible, a couple times a month, right up to like 5-6 times a month sometimes. We put out about a CD every year.
Yeah.
Been around 7 years this summer.
Yeah, you guys work hard, so that's good to see.
Yeah.
Good to see. Well, why don't we play something, and then we'll come back afterward and chat. But what do you want to start the show with?
Well, how about a track called Snake Oil off my last CD?
It's my favorite.
Yes.
Oh, and you're being hailed. All right, so this is Snake Oil from Mindset X here on Local Outbreak on 100.1 The Planet.
It fulfills your dreams. It shines, it gleams. Fulfills all your dreams. But wait, there's more. Buy more, buy more. Who would want the oil of snake? But wait, there's more. Buy more, buy more. Who would want the oil of snake? Invented by a mover, shake it, desperate, greedy money, make a snake a lube. Snake a lube. Invented by a mover, shake it, desperate, greedy money, make a snake a lube. Snake a lube. Invented by a mover, shake a desperate, greedy money, make a snake a lube. It's super fun for everyone. But wait, there's more. Buy more, buy more. Who would want the oil of snake? But wait, there's more. Buy more, buy more. Who would want the oil of snake? La 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 la. But wait, there's more. Buy more, buy more. Who would want the oil of snake? But wait, there's more. Buy more, buy more. Who would want the oil of snake? But wait, there's more. Buy more, buy more. Who would want the oil of snake? But wait, there's more. Buy more, buy more. Who would want the oil of snake? Na 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 na.
Local Outbreak on 100.1 The Planet. Matt from IPMNation.com. And sitting here with Adam Cody from Mindset X. Adam, what do you do in the band?
I play drums.
Okay, and who else is in the band?
As Jerry Hool on bass, and he does some backing vocals.
Okay.
Also, Stephen Scott on lead vocals and lead guitar.
Okay, how long have you guys been around?
It'll be 7 years this summer.
Okay, that's a lot of longevity for an original band from the area.
Yeah, well, we just, that's part of what, how the name came about.
Really?
Mindset. We all decided, what does it take to be a good band and, hopefully make it.
Yeah.
And we all decided that it was a mindset, all of us thinking the same thing, wanting the same thing, and getting along.
Sure. I want to really talk about your songwriting because you guys definitely have a unique. Your tunes are unique, and it's hard to describe. When I've told people about you guys who haven't heard you yet, it's hard to describe what you do. I definitely hear a mix of influences. I mean, it's definitely rock and it's kind of heavy, but I hear all kinds of different stuff in there. Can you describe? I mean, how do you describe Mindset X to someone who hasn't heard you guys yet?
Well, I just tell people we're alternative hard rock, and the alternative kind of leaves it open for that unknown factor, which is the X in the name. And it's true. We all do have a huge variety of different influences, and somehow they all mesh together and jive, and that's where we get our unique sound.
Right. Do you guys all write together, or who writes the tunes?
We do. It varies. I mean, for the longest time, we would just get together and jam. We all would have ideas outside of the jam room and bring them together in the jam room, and we're all very open. We have good synergy with each other. We're all very open to each other's ideas. Lyrically, musically, we all take part in writing. On the newest album, we're trying something a little different where we'll throw some ideas around, lay down some tracks, and kind of build the song in the studio. So that's kind of a new approach for us.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. How much original material do you guys have? Because I made reference before, you guys have put out a lot of stuff in 7 years.
Yeah, we've done at least 4 full-length CDs and probably 3 EPs when we get anxious. It takes time to do a full production CD. We'll get anxious about halfway through and maybe throw an EP out there to kind of keep us happy, to keep our fans happy.
Sure. Where do you guys record? Does it vary, or do you have a particular studio that you use?
Our last 3 CDs, full production CDs, have been at a place called Drumlin Down in East Kingston, New Hampshire.
Oh, yes, okay.
Yeah, we work very well with Brian Sachs down there.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, the last 3, but what about, you have one you're working on now, right?
Yeah, that's including the new one.
Oh, including the new one.
Yeah.
Okay. I've heard a lot about Brian, but I've never actually met him. What is it about working with him that works well for Mindset X?
Well, it's a very comfortable atmosphere. He really knows what he's doing. It's relaxed. You don't feel like that red light thing at some of the studios. The red light's on, and you just gotta pound out your stuff. I mean, He really works with people.
Yeah, that's good. Does he also kind of act as a producer in some way, or are you guys kind of self-produced and he's just handling the engineering? How does that work?
He has taken on more of a production role the more we work with him, because we find that, we work very well together, and the ideas that he throws out there, we're always willing to try, and more than half the time we end up liking his ideas and running with them,
Yeah, that's good. Well, it makes sense then that you stick with him.
Yeah, absolutely. It works. It's not broken, don't fix it.
Yeah, absolutely. Has your sound changed and evolved over the years? Because it seems like, from what I remember, your really early stuff might have been more, I don't know if progressive is the right word, but a little less accessible, I'll say that, than your newer stuff.
It's true. Our early stuff was definitely, you can call it progressive, but it wasn't progressive in a wanky 25-minute guitar solo type of way. We would throw out a lot of different pieces in a song. We would construct a song out of like 6 or 7 different pieces instead of, what you hear on the radio is more like, 3 pieces, and they're more, they flow a little more, Ours was a little more abrupt. We'd throw out some left-hand turns, and we have evolved. I mean, we still hold on to a little piece of that element because we all like different progressive bands, but I'd say the new stuff, the songs are a little more compressed time-wise. We're not doing 8-minute epics anymore. We're doing, half 4 minute, half that probably, 4 minutes.
And that evolution, do you approach that as a conscious decision? Do you consciously say, okay, this is what we're going to do. We're going to start to do things a little shorter, or has it just been kind of a natural thing where that's just kind of how you've naturally evolved as a band?
I think it's more of an evolution. I mean, we have sat down and torn things apart before and said, well, does this really fit in the song? Does it belong there? Or could it be its own song?
Sure.
And sometimes, a song will evolve from a piece of a song that was cut, from a previous song. So I think it's been more of an evolution.
Okay. And the uniqueness that you guys have, how does that affect in terms of touring? because you guys play a lot of shows too.
Yes, yeah.
Does that in any way limit you in terms of what bands you can team up with on shows, or does it actually help you that you're a little bit different? Because, like I said, it's probably difficult for people to pigeonhole you. Okay, are they hard rock? Are they metal? Or, what are they? Because there really isn't anybody around here who sounds quite like you guys from a songwriting standpoint.
Right. I think that it's gone both ways. It's worked to our advantage in a lot of instances. Mm-hmm. Other times it's worked against us. I mean, if you put us on the bill with 4 or 5 death metal bands, it's probably not going to work. Nothing against that style of music.
Sure.
It's not going to mesh. They're going to probably not dig what we're doing. But
has that happened?
It has happened. Yeah, it happened a lot more early on. You know, because people didn't know where to put us. Do we put them with the rock bands, or do we put them with the metal bands?
Sure.
And so, we were either the heaviest band on the bill or the mellowest band on the bill. And over time, we found other bands out there that have some longevity that mesh with us, that we end up doing more shows with. We'll go to their area and play some shows. They'll come up here and play shows with us.
Yeah. I mean, I know from my own experience in bands, very often when you're new, when you have a new band, and you're trying to get out in the scene, you kind of take whatever comes your way until you build up that fan base to a point where you can start looking specifically for situations that make sense for you.
Oh, absolutely. And again, early on, we would take anything, anywhere. We'd basically play, any night of the week and within a 200-mile radius.
Sure.
And we pretty much still do that, but we're a little more picky with where we play. Mm-hmm. And, I don't want to say who we play with, but obviously we don't want to be on the bill with 5 bands that don't fit,
Yeah. Were there ever any instances early on when you were in that situation where you have to play with bands you didn't necessarily fit with? Were you able to win people over?
Most of the time. I mean, our set varied so much. I mean, we have heavier songs. I think the biggest difference was vocal style as far as our heavier material from some of the stuff that's out there, and adversely the mellower stuff. And we would usually at least win over a few new fans out of the audience, the people that like the crossover.
You ever have it go horribly wrong back in those days?
Who hasn't? Who hasn't?
Yeah.
Looking for the exit, but
right. Absolutely. Who is there anyone you want to mention that you really like playing with? Any bands that you team up with on a regular basis for shows that you want to mention? Or?
Absolutely. I think one of the bands that we probably have played with the most over the years is a band called Mongrel.
Yeah,
I'm sure you're familiar with.
Absolutely.
Good friends with that band through all their lineup changes. They've always got good people in there. Always good people. We have played with them probably more than any other band.
That makes sense to me, actually, now that you mention it, because they're also kind of unique,
They're classified, I guess, as punk, but they're more of a punk metal hard rock crossover.
Yeah.
Whereas we may not be as much punk, but there is some common ground in there.
Right. Yeah, that makes sense to me. We're hopefully going to have them on soon.
Oh, very cool.
Anybody else that you guys play with a lot, or?
Yeah, a band we used to play with a lot, which we've actually got a show coming up in April.
Oh.
With a band called Q. They're more of an industrial band out of Springfield, Massachusetts.
I haven't seen them in a long time, but I like them a lot.
They're still together. I mean, we used to play with them all the time up here. They would come up and play with us for the Rat Pack shows when we used to be on that label.
Sure.
And even after that, they would come up and play with us just because we were all good friends, and the music meshed pretty well.
That's great, yeah.
We haven't seen much of them for about a year and a half, but they're coming back up in April to play with us, so we're looking forward to that. Mongrel's on that bill as well, so it's going to be a great show.
Where is that again?
That's at Millie's Tavern. That's on April 16th.
April 16th, okay. Cool. I might have to check that out. I haven't seen Q forever.
Yeah, that's excellent band. Excellent. We all love Missy and the rest of the guys.
Yep, absolutely. Well, why don't we play another track?
All right.
What do you want to play?
Well, seeing as we talked about, some of the more progressive stuff we've done in the past, I think I'd like to play a song called Syntax.
Okay.
Which is kind of highlights our progressive side a little bit more.
Okay, cool. I haven't heard this yet, so this will be good. All right, so this is Syntax from Mindset X here on Local Outbreak on 100.1 The Planet.
1, 2, 0, 1, 2, 0, 1, 1, 2, 0, 1, 2, 0, 1, 2, 0, 1, 2, 0, 1, 2, 0, 1, 2, 0, 1, 2, 0, 1, 2, 0, 1, 2, 0, 1, 2, 0, 1, 2, 0, 1, 2, 0, 1, 2, 0, 1, 2, 0, 1, 2, 0, 1, 2, 0, 1, 2, 0, 1, 2, 0, 1, 2, 0, 1, 2, 0, 1, 2, 0, 1, 2, 0, 1, 2, 0, 1, 2, 0, 1, 2, 0, 1, 2, 0, 1, 2, 0, 1, 2, 0, 1, 2, 0, 1, 2, 0, 1, 2, 0, 1, 2, 0, 1, 2, 0, 1, 2, 0, 1, 2, 0, 1, 2, 0, 1, 2, 0, 1, 2, 0, 1, 2, 0, 1, 2, 0, 1, 2, 0, 1, 2, 0, 1, 2, 0, 1, 2, 0, Syntax error, virtual, non-virtuate to care. Programming life on an emotionless scale. Texting your world to a death train derail. Hoping that someone will pass and share a virtual, non-virtuate to care.
The planet's local outbreak with IPMNation.com.
Local Outbreak on 100.1 The Planet. Matt from IPMNation.com with Adam Cody, the drummer for Mindset X. I want to ask you about, we mentioned your longevity earlier. And actually, there's a lot of bands that are in the area that have probably been around as long or longer, but to be able to, to stay together for as long as you guys have and keep up the pace, because like I said, you guys work hard. You've recorded, what did you say, 4 full-length albums?
Yeah, we're working on the 5th full-length.
You're working on your 5th,
yeah.
Okay.
If you don't count the very first, we actually did, it was more of a demo the way it was recorded, but it was still a full-length CD.
Yeah.
We don't really count that one, but this could possibly be the 6th.
Oh, okay. Plus the EPs and whatnot.
Right.
How do you keep it up? How do you keep up the pace? I mean, you guys work so hard.
We all have the drive.
Mm-hmm.
We want to get out there and play our stuff because we love it.
Mm-hmm.
Especially Steve. Steve's like a machine when it comes to writing. He's just always got a dozen songs. We could put out, if we had the time, we'd put out a CD every 3 or 4 months.
Sure.
If we had the time and money. We don't, so we usually average something every year.
Sure.
But we just love it. It's really just the passion of the music.
Right. Now, are you guys currently on a label, or is it all DIY at this point, or do you have management? What's your situation? 7 years in, I imagine you have some help.
Yes, we're actually, the label we're on right now is Transit Music. I don't know if you're familiar with Dave.
Mr. Dave Roberge, yes,
Mr. Dave
absolutely.
Roberge, very nice guy.
Yeah.
And as far as management, we've acquired a manager. Her outfit is called Six String Promotions.
Okay.
Carla Wheeler, and she works just as hard as we do behind the scenes. She's always got several pokers in the fire for us.
Sure. And this isn't your first label, Transit Music. You were also on Rat Pack Records prior to that, correct?
Yes, we were. We released a couple CDs on Rat Pack. We're still all good friends with Joe O'Brien, and we were on his label for about 3 years.
Okay,
I think.
Okay. And how did you get involved with Transit Music Group? How did you meet Dave and all that? Did you approach him? Did he approach you?
Well, I think, because we've played so many shows with so many different bands, we met him out at a show. We were probably playing with a couple of his bands one night, and we all sat down and started talking.
Sure.
We were in between labels at the time, and it seemed like a good match.
Mm-hmm. How involved is he as far as... does he help you at all with the creative aspect of the band, or is it just specifically, because different label situations are different?
Yeah, it's more or less, he takes, we have creative control, obviously, over our music, and, he takes what we release and pushes it.
Yeah,
tries to get reviews for us, more on a bigger scale, like a national, international scale as far as the reviews.
Sure.
Again, it's a good fit.
Yeah. And how did you meet Carla? How did she get involved with management?
It's like most of the people that we know is we met them at a show. 'Cause, we're out at clubs Maybe not every weekend anymore, but
Sure.
most every weekend you can find us somewhere in northern New England.
Right.
Or New England, I should say. You know.
Yeah.
So, yeah, at a show. We met her at a show, probably in western Massachusetts somewhere, because that's where she's from.
Oh, okay.
And, again, it clicked. She liked the band, and we liked her management style.
Yeah. Does she have other artists that she manages also, or is she focused on you guys?
She basically, as far as, she focuses on us, but
good.
she does set up other shows with other bands.
Sure.
As well.
Yeah, but you're in that priority spot, it sounds like, which is good.
Yes.
Which is
absolutely
very good. Absolutely.
And we appreciate that, Kyla.
You did mention, most weekends you can find you somewhere in New England. I mean, do you guys tour all the New England states, or I don't know how much touring you guys have done out of the area. I know that you play a lot of shows, but I don't know how extensive your range is geographically.
Pretty much as far as we've gone so far has been New York City. We've done 2 or 3 gigs in New York City. Otherwise, it's New Hampshire, Mass, Maine, Rhode Island. I guess we haven't played Vermont. Oh no, maybe we did. We played Vermont once years ago.
Really?
Like some outdoor, metal fest or something. But we keep it to the upper 5 states up here.
Yeah.
Right now. Would like to go on the road, do the whole country sooner or later.
Oh, absolutely, yeah. Do you guys have a favorite, or do you specifically have a favorite place to play? Is there a particular venue or city that's just kind of special to you guys?
Well, probably my favorite venue right now is one we just played on February 5th, is the Armory down in Manchester.
Yeah.
We did a nice big show down there with Hinder and Saving Abel and some really great bands. It's a great big venue, and when it's full of people, it's my favorite.
Yeah.
The more people at a venue, that's my favorite venue.
That's great, absolutely. And let me ask you this: as far as the shows go, is it difficult to figure out what's going to go in the set list? Because again, you guys have a lot of material to draw from, and some of those early tunes, like you mentioned, were pretty long. So.
Well, yeah, we actually, one of our fan favorites is still our first full production album. It's called Physics. And so we have to hold on to at least 3 songs on that, usually make it into the set. Maybe not all 3, but you're going to hear at least 2 songs off that CD pretty much anytime you see us.
Okay.
We kind of skip over a CD we did called Generation RX. We don't really do much off that because that's got the long, proggy, epic songs on it.
Okay.
We pull songs, 1 or 2 songs off thread here and there, and then it's mainly what we're doing now, and the last CD is what we're doing. We try and play the most current stuff.
Makes sense.
We're pushing what's new and exciting to us.
Right, right. Very good, very good. Do you guys, what about when you go into the studio? Because I assume, well, you're kind of taking a different approach now. You said you're sort of writing in the studio, but I mean, in the past, has it been a challenge to... Because you guys are so prolific, and you said Steve specifically has tons of ideas, is it hard to kind of pare that down as far as what you're going to record when you go in, or has it been in the past? Or?
Not really. I mean, we've always been really open, to each other's ideas.
Yeah.
And we'll get it, by the time we get it to the studio, we've got a pretty good idea of what that song is going to be.
Sure. Yeah, and then when you then go to play out, is it ever a challenge to duplicate what you did in the studio live? Because you guys are a 3-piece, but you have a nice big sound. You know what I mean? Is that ever a challenge, or do you think about that when you're recording? Well, we've got to be able to pull this off live.
We do, and I'm always like that. The little voice in your head saying, "Can we do this live? Can we do this live?"
Right.
If you listen to some of our stuff on headphones, you might hear some little tracks in the background that you might not hear live.
Sure.
But the main part of the song is what you hear is what you get, pretty much.
Right. Cool. Well, why don't we play another track? What would you like to play now?
Well, to show the diversity, I'd like to play one of our heavier songs.
Okay.
It actually, it's got a mellower part in it, so
okay.
It's got a nice, heavy part, mellow part.
Right.
So the song's called Drop.
Drop. All right, very good. This is, and what is this from, by the way? Is this from the new album coming up? Or?
No, this one's actually from the last one, As Seen on TV.
Okay, cool. All right, so this is Drop from Mindset X here on Local Outbreak on 100.1 The Planet.
armies. Manhattan secrets. We have the bomb to kill us all. Undo the wrong. Drop, 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 drop the bomb. Drop, 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 drop the bomb. Drop, 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 drop the bomb. Drop, 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 drop the bomb.
Local Outbreak on 100.1 The Planet. Matt from IPMNation.com, and our guest this week is Adam Cody from Mindset X.
Hey.
And actually, you said something. This always happens. You said something interesting off air.
Okay. Yeah.
Now I'm going to ask you to repeat
boy.
it on air because you were talking about how you guys, the three of you, you're talking about the dynamics of the band and how you all like different things, but you also like some of the same things.
Yes, we have some common ground.
Mm-hmm.
Each one of us has a lot of bands that the other one might not listen to.
Sure.
And then there's some crossover between, like, two of us might like certain bands. The bands that we really agree on are probably Primus and maybe a few others.
Okay.
I mean, Steve and I really like Rush. Jerry and I really like Zappa.
Uh-huh.
And the two of them really like the Foo Fighters. And I like the Foo Fighters as well. But I think the only thing that we all agree on, like, this band is awesome, is Primus.
Really?
Which,
yeah.
ironically, we don't really sound like Primus, but that's
Right.
kind of like the thing that binds us all, gives us some common ground is musically.
Yeah. No, that's good. That's good. Well, let's mention again what you have coming up, because you have that big show on April 16th.
Yes, Millie's Tavern, I think it's 500 Commercial Street in Manchester,
Mm-hmm.
and that's on April 16th, which I believe is a Saturday, and it's Mindset X with very special guests Q from Springfield, excellent band,
Mm-hmm.
and our very good friends Mongrel.
Very good. Very good. And for people who want to keep up with what's going on with Mindset X, where can they find you guys online?
Oh, where can't you find us? You type us into a search engine and you're going to get like 3 pages of stuff. But
Yeah.
we've got, mindsetx.com, just all one word, Mindset X.
Okay.
MySpace, /Mindset X. We're on Facebook, Twitter.
Yeah.
If you're looking for like a press kit, you'll be interested in booking us, you can Sonic Bids.
Okay.
Reverb Nation. I mean,
Yeah.
just off the top of my head, there's a few of them.
Yeah. So you've got it all covered. That's good.
But the main site has got pretty much all the important stuff, show dates,
Yeah.
what's most current, what's going on.
And it's a great site,
Yeah, thanks.
which is cool. Well, not every band in the area has a great site, so I commend you. Because
Well,
I
luckily-
think that's important. So
Luckily, Steve, the whole band, we're all good friends now, but Steve has a good friend who is a webmaster, so that
Oh,
doesn't
good.
hurt.
No, that doesn't hurt at all. That's great. That's great. Well, I'm glad you were able to join us, Adam, and we'll play one more track in a minute. I want to thank Tim Martin, as always, for working the board, and definitely book Tim. Go to centralnhevents.com if you need a DJ for your birthday party, corporate function. We mentioned pool parties earlier because summer's coming. Book him now before he's booked up, because he is in demand. There we go. Do not procrastinate like Lazy Larry. That's what I'm trying to say. And Adam, thanks again.
Oh, thank you. It was great being here.
Adam Cody from Mindset X. And let's wrap up with one more tune. What do you want to play tonight?
All right. Well, I'd like to play our newest song that we've got finished, which is the first song we have finished off the new CD, which is yet to have a title because it's still in process. The song is called POV, which stands for Point of View.
All right. Very good. All right. This is POV from Mindset X here on Local Outbreak on 100.1 The Planet. Thanks, Adam.
Thank you.
I'm not as close as I appear, even when you're looking through me. There's nothing left for me to fear when you've already scared the hell out of me. Everything looks good the farther back you stand. You can see the hatred from above. From your eyes I hear the things you say, and throw away everything you gave to me. I'll take the things that you have, the things that you have, beating from me. From your eyes I hear the things you say, and throw away everything you gave to me. I'll take the things beating from me. Your eyes, I hear the things you say, and throw away everything you gave to me. I take the things that you have, the things that you have, beating from me. Beating from me. Beating from me. Beating from me. Beating from me.
100.1 The Planet's Local Outbreak with IPMNation.com.
The Planet's Local Outbreak is recorded weekly at the studios of 100.1 The Planet. It's engineered by Tim Martin of CentralNHEvents.com. Matt Connerton of IPMNation.com is the host of The Planet's Local Outbreak. The show is produced and edited by Annie Biello of 100.1 The Planet. For artist links and details about The Planet's Local Outbreak, log on to The Planet's Entertain Me page, WPNHFM.com. The Planet's Local Outbreak is available for download anytime online, IPMNation.com/local outbreak. The Planet's Local Outbreak is a product of 100.1 The Planet and Northeast Communications.